Our findings and analysis section will just be 2 short paragraphs. 1 paragraph for each visual. Each paragraph should answer these simple questions. What research did you do? And what were the key findings of that research? All the information that we need is right there in the scenario and the visuals. Let's take a look at an example findings and analysis section for this scenario. And remember, this is professional written communication. This is your chance to apply what you learned earlier in the course about selecting appropriate words, writing clear sentences, writing clear paragraphs, and formatting and mechanics. Right then, findings and analysis. We've got our scenario and we've read that carefully. We've also got our 2 visuals and we've looked at those carefully as well. The instructions ask us to read the scenario carefully and write a 3-paragraph report. For now, we're focusing on findings and analysis, 2 paragraphs. Remember the guiding questions. What research did you do? And what were the key findings of that research? We're going to use these guiding questions to help us structure our 2 paragraphs. So, starting with what kind of research did you do? Well, the scenario tells us exactly what research we did. Firstly, we requested data on product returns from the finance department. So, that is what I'm going to say. In our research, we first requested data on customer product returns from the finance department. Now, this is chart 1, isn't it? And this shows us the information about the number of customer product returns all through 2021. So, in my paragraph, I'm going to say, this data allowed us to get a clear picture of the number of returns made throughout 2021. So, that is the first question. What research did you do? Now, for the second question, what were the key findings of that research? Well, we need to look carefully at the graph and take the key findings from there. Well, really, it shows us that in the second half of the year, so from June on, well, what's happening here? This is a steady increase, isn't it? So, the data clearly shows, now I could use a word like shows, or I could use a more professional and academic word like reveals, a steady increase, right, in the number of returns made in the second half of 2021. Full stop. Now, that's the general pattern from the chart, but we should also give some specific details. So, in June, how many returns is that? It's about 18 customer returns in June. And then the number is increasing steadily. What about in October? How many is that? Well, that's about 60 product returns. And it continues to increase. By the end of the year in December, what's that? 80 customer product returns in December. So, we can say there were only 18 customer returns in June 2021. However, this number increased each month to reach 60 product returns in October. Full stop. Finally, in December 2021, there were 80 customer product returns. Full stop. And that is our first paragraph. The first couple of sentences tell us what research we did, and then the rest of the paragraph summarizes the key findings from that research. Now, for our second paragraph, we need to repeat that process for the second chart. So again, the first question, what research did you do? Again, we check the scenario. It clearly tells us you also did a survey to get feedback from customers. That was our second kind of research. And here are the results of our survey. So, continuing on, we then did a survey. And again, I could use the word did, or I could use a more professional academic word. We then conducted a survey. And who exactly did we survey? It was 200 perfect fit customers who returned items to the store. So, we then conducted a survey of 200 customers who returned items at our company, Perfect Fit Clothing. Full stop. And the survey results, well, they show us the reasons, don't they? The reasons why these customers returned the products that they bought. So, the results of the survey reveal the main reasons why customers returned clothes that they had bought, or again, I could use a more professional, formal, academic word like purchased. Once again, time to look at the chart. What was the main reason why customers chose to return their clothes? Well, we've got 40% here who returned clothes because poor quality sewing. Okay, that is the first reason. So, firstly, the most common reason why customers returned items to the store was poor quality sewing. But don't forget, we should use the data from the chart. So, 40% of customers returned items for this reason. Okay, that's the first reason. Now, another one. In addition, what's next? 30% here. 30% the item was damaged. So, in addition, another 30% of customers stated that they returned clothing because it was damaged. Full stop. Now, that's already 70% of the customers. So, in fact, we have introduced the key findings of the research. But perhaps let's put in one more. This 15% of customers here who returned items because they didn't fit. So we can say, moreover, 15% of customers reported that they made a return because the item did not fit. Full stop. And now we have two clear paragraphs, our findings and analysis section. Please read the paragraphs carefully and think about how they are put together. The sentence structure, the transitional devices, and how they follow the guiding questions that we have discussed. The first couple of sentences in each paragraph, and I'll put those in blue, what research did you do? And then, what were the key findings of that research? Well, the next sentences introduce those key findings. Let's put those into green. But don't forget, we have also used transitional devices and linking words. We've got however, finally, in addition, moreover, and firstly.